In the Valley of Elah, two armies stood facing each other. The air was heavy. Dust drifted slowly in the morning light. On one hill stood the army of Israel. On the other, the Philistines. Neither side moved, because between them stood a giant. For 40 days fear ruled this valley. His name was Goliath, a warrior from Gath. He was over 9 feet tall, covered in bronze armor, carrying a spear like a tree trunk. When he stepped forward, the ground seemed to tremble. His voice thundered across the valley. "Choose a man to fight me. If he defeats me, we will serve you. But if I defeat him, you will serve us." And then he laughed. The soldiers of Israel gripped their shields, but none stepped forward. They had swords, they had armor, they had training, but they did not have courage. Fear spread like fire. Even the strongest warriors lowered their eyes. Inside his war tent sat King Saul, the first king of Israel, tall, strong, chosen to lead, yet even he was troubled. 40 days had passed, 40 nights of challenge, and no champion had risen. Far from the battlefield, a shepherd tended his father's sheep. His name was David. He was not a soldier. He was not trained for war. He knew more about quiet hills and green pastures than clashing swords. But in the silence of the fields, he had learned something powerful: trust. He had faced lions, he had faced bears, and he had seen God protect him. One day, his father sent him to bring food to his brothers at the battlefield. When David arrived, he heard the giant's voice echo across the valley. He saw the soldiers retreat in fear, and something stirred inside him. He asked, "Who is this man that he defies the armies of the living God?" The others saw a giant. David saw defiance. Again the giant stepped forward, his armor shimmering in the harsh sun. "Send me a man," he roared. The valley trembled. David began speaking boldly among the soldiers.
"Soldiers, I'm but a shepherd, yet I stand before you with a heart full of courage. Follow me, and we shall claim victory together."
This Philistine, he said.
We stand at the edge of history.
The
Let our
men
courage
stared
forge a
at
path
him
to
in
fear.
disbelief.
Follow me, and we shall prevail.
He was young, unarmed, untested, yet his eyes held confidence, because courage is not born from size, it is born from faith. David was brought before King Saul. "You are only a boy," Saul said, "and he has been a warrior since his youth." But David answered calmly, "Your servant has killed both lion and bear. The Lord who rescued me from their claws will rescue me from this giant." Saul studied the shepherd carefully.
This burden is
Then
now
he agreed.
yours.
The king placed his own armor on
Bear
David.
it with honor.
It was heavy, restricting, unfamiliar. David took a few steps and stopped. "This is not how I fight," he said quietly. He removed the armor, because sometimes what protects others is not what protects you. David knelt down and chose 5 smooth stones. Simple stones. Common stones. But in the hands of faith, ordinary things become powerful. He placed them in his pouch and took his sling. Then he walked toward the giant. The valley fell silent. The size difference was overwhelming. When Goliath saw him, he sneered. "Am I a dog," the giant shouted, "that you come to me with sticks?" But David did not slow down. "You come to me with sword and spear," he declared. "But I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Then David ran. He placed a stone in his sling. 1 rotation. 2 rotations, released it. The stone through the air, fast and precise. It struck the giant in the forehead. Silence filled the valley. The massive warrior staggered, then fell face down onto the earth. The giant was defeated. For a moment, no one moved. Then the army of Israel erupted in courage. The Philistines fled. A shepherd had done what trained soldiers would not by strength, Not by armor, not by experience, but by faith. Every generation faces giants, fear, doubt, pressure, impossibility. But this story reminds us that your greatest battles are not won by size. They are won by belief. Sometimes one act of courage changes history. And sometimes, one stone is all it takes. If you like to see more Bible story videos, please like and subscribe to